Hi, I'm Roberta. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to Liguria with my good friend Lucio Galletto.
What a good idea.
And we're going to make one of the most typical Ligurian dishes. Certainly I think the dish that everyone knows from Liguria.
That's right. Yes, I mean Italy's got many types of pestos with different ingredients, etc. But this pesto alla Genovese is really something else.
I know.
It's the best.
I've heard you call it His Majesty the Pesto.
His Majesty the Pesto. That's how much respect we have for the pesto and how important it is to us. But
So-
we are still a republic in Italy, yeah.
So let's get cooking. We want some basil leaves. I know you prefer small ones.
Oh yes, yes.
So
It's
getting a
much
pot
better
of
for
basil like this
it's
is
both
the best way.
flavorsome and fragrant, yes. In fact, the pesto that grows in Liguria is sort of small round and concave leaves like this.
Okay.
And they never let it grow too much. For example, sometimes people even think that this one could be
Too big. So that's
But
about
no,
as
it's
big
okay.
as we want to go.
Yes, but just in case, if you always take away the stem, and if you think it's too big, you just cut it in half and see if it is bigger than this, it will be more.
And then you can take out the thick stem. Is that what
That's
you're
right,
saying?
yes.
If you only have big
Yeah,
leaves.
if you have,
But
yeah.
we want small
But
leaves.
I'm sure you too, we suggest to make the pesto with the basil in the pots, not
Yes.
in big bunches, because sometimes those big bunches come with very, very big leaves.
Yes.
It's like eating
It's too coarse. It's like grass.
grass pesto, and
Now-
not marijuana, mind you.
Pine nuts. I've seen recipes where we roast the pine nuts.
Me too, actually, but no, the pine nuts must not be toasted because
Good.
they release their own oil as well, and everything helps in making the final pesto. Right?
And our cheese. We like to have a mixture of pecorino and parmigiano.
That's right, traditionally yes, but you know, you can use even only pecorino and only parmigiano if you are out of one
Okay,
and you
so
want to make a pesto.
It's forgiving. The
As long
ratio's
as-
up to
As
you.
long as you don't tell us, we won't know.
So we're going 50-50.
50-50, yes.
A little bit of garlic. It shouldn't be overpowering, am I right?
That's right. You
See,
know.
I have listened to you all these years.
Really? No, because that's a debate in Liguria actually. The amount of garlic, the strength of the garlic that goes into the pesto, differs from different parts of Liguria.
I see.
Me being from the Riviera di Levante, which is near Tuscany, we like a sort of mild,
Okay.
so we don't use very much garlic.
But if we went further around the coast towards France and Provence, we
Oh,
might
Mamma
put
mia,
more
it
garlic.
becomes unedible.
Okay, so
No,
again,
there.
it's up to you.
It's up to you, yes.
You start with our recipe, which is Lucio's recipe, and you use it as inspiration for your own. And some beautiful, now I don't have Ligurian olive oil, but I have
No, I tried
lovely,
this. I
delicate...
tried this one, and
yes.
it's very good and it's very similar to.
Because the oil of Liguria is very delicate.
That's
isn't it?
right. Yes. Fruity. You know, it's important for the pesto. For example, you couldn't use an oil for the pesto alla Genovese from the south because it will be too strong.
Too harsh.
Too harsh and too strong in taste as well.
And traditionally, how do we make it?
Well, traditionally it's made with a mortar and pestle, a wooden pestle.
And a marble mortar, is
Marble
that right? Because you have
mortar, yeah.
beautiful marble, of course.
Carrara, yeah,
Carrara
that's
marble.
right. But you know, if you don't have a mortar,
Food
a blender,
processor?
fruit processor is very good. As long
We're going
as
to cheat and use the food processor. Let's make life easy,
But
shall we?
you got, yeah. You know, in the mortar you put the ingredients one by one, for
Yes,
example.
and you smell it as you go.
That's right, and it's fantastic smell. You know, in the food processor, you just put everything at the same time and just process it. But you have to use a very low speed because otherwise the pesto will get heated up.
Right, and
In
pesto
fact,
is always raw, right? You never heat
Pesto
pesto.
is always raw, and there's a salsa freddo, which is called cold sauce. So pesto must never be put on heat on a pan, etc., but added.
Off the-
That's it. Put the pesto in a bowl, then add the pasta mix, add more Parmesan cheese, and off the heat.
Off the heat. Okay, we'll get to that part. All right, I think we're ready to go with the food processor version.
Lovely.
Now, Lucio, you were saying that you like to take the germ out of the centre of the garlic. Is
Yes,
that right?
because I think garlic eaten raw particularly, it becomes really too strong.
Okay, I think it's really important if you're going to keep it for a while too, because I think that germ is what makes it start to ferment.
Yes.
So we're going to take the germ out of the centre, and I think we've decided that even half a clove that size is about right for this quantity, right?
Yes, we think so. But
Okay.
you know, as you said, anybody can.
It's up
do
to
it.
you, but I know your pesto is always quite
Sure.
delicate.
Yes. Yes.
So, please.
Armonioso, we say in
What does
Italian.
that mean?
With harmony.
Ah, a
As you
harmonious pesto. That's what we're making. Right. So.
Yes, I mean, as I said before, we put with a food processor, we put everything in it at the
Because
same
we want
time.
to process it as little as possible,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, so in with that, in with our pine nuts, in with our cheese,
Il formaggio. Here we go with the cheese.
good pinch of salt, yes, there's a little bit more there, let's get it all in, there we go.
Pinch of salt.
Now, do you want to chop the garlic clove up so that the food processor doesn't have as much work?
Oh, a little bit if you like.
Doesn't
yes.
hurt, does it? Because we
No.
want to mix it as little as possible.
That's right.
Let's just give that a bit of a chop. Pop that in. Do you put the oil in as well?
Yes, but maybe not all of it. We put sort of half of it,
Okay.
more or less. Then we see what happens.
Do you trust me to drive?
Yes.
And that's it. We want a pulse, right? We
Yeah,
don't
pulse,
want
yeah.
a puree, but we don't
Without
want
overheating the
to overheat.
basil.
It's obviously easier if you're making a larger quantity, but this is just enough for two for our testaroli. We encourage you to make a big lot. If you do make a big lot, you can keep it in the fridge for quite a while, can't you?
Yes, well, my mother used to make it that lasted 6 months, but it's important to put it on sterilized jars and then cover with olive oil.
Yes, that film of olive oil.
We used to keep it outside, only to put back in the fridge when we started
To eat.
with the jar. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got that quite fine, and we put all of the oil in because we're going to use this straight away with the testaroli, right?
That's right. That's right.
But if we were going to store it in a jar, we'd probably use a little less oil in here
At the
and the
beginning,
last
exactly,
little
yeah.
bit over to seal it. Is
To
that?
seal it in the jar. That's right. Yes. But
Perfect.
you know the color and the consistency, it's very very good.
And the aroma.
Oh,
I always wish you could smell these things.
yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay, so here is our pesto. We're now going to make some testaroli, or if you don't want to make testaroli, you're just going to boil some pasta to toss through your
Yes.
pesto.
Fantastico.
Enjoy.
Fantastic.